This is the story of how much food I have grown in the last 12 months in my tiny backyard. From January all the way through to December of 2024, I've transformed my 39 square meter backyard into a productive food growing oasis. Today I'll take you on a month by month journey showing you every vegetable I grew and harvested. Let's dive in. January is usually all about tomatoes, chilies, capsicum, cucumber, basil, eggplant and corn, thriving in the heat and sunshine. But growing in subtropical Australia in January and February, which is the peak of our summer, is the hardest time of year for us to grow food here. We get hit by extremely high temperatures, humidity and constant rain, which brings an onslaught of pest pressure like grasshoppers and caterpillars. So usually by the end of January I have given up and I waited out until the temperatures cool down in March. I did harvest a good amount of beetroots, leeks, celery and lettuce. We had some beautiful sunflowers growing, some nice looking tomatoes. I managed to get 2 watermelons and 3 mangoes, and this little guy came to visit. As summer faded, it was time to start new seeds for the year like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, dill, coriander, celery, leek, onion, garlic and carrot. By March, they were already thriving. April brought cooler nights, perfect for growing brassicas already mentioned and kale. Autumn is a great time to prep your garden for hearty vegetables that love the cooler weather, and it's my favourite growing season of all. Autumn is actually more like spring is for the rest of the world here in subtropical Australia. As we moved into winter, it became a waiting game watching everything grow. In May and June, I was starting to harvest the first of the potatoes and broccoli, staples for hearty winter meals. Being in a frost-free climate meant these veggies thrived in my subtropical backyard in winter. July was all about snow peas and brassicas. I harvested more potatoes, some pak choy, leeks, celery, huge bunches of dill, and I built a dragon fruit trellis, which I'll do a video about in a few weeks. Ella loved getting into my L-shaped garden and lying in the dirt. And I saw the first peach flower for the year, which was very early. August arrived and the garden exploded with new life. The snow peas were coming in thick and fast. The rosemary plant was getting massive. I harvested the last of the broccoli and I started harvesting cauliflower. I harvested a ton more potatoes and the dill was going crazy. And the celery was growing everywhere. And I discovered more peach flowers on my main peach tree. Spring arrived and the mulberry tree was loaded with fruit. We picked about 2 kilos of mulberries off our 2-year-old tree this year. I harvested 20 celery and a huge amount of rosemary that I dried, and some more cauliflower. October meant the last picking of the brassicas as it was getting too hot now. I harvested 9 cauliflower and started harvesting the first of the cucumbers. The brown onions were ready to be pulled and cured. I harvested about 26 from the first bunch that were ready. A lot more potatoes were ready to come out, around 40 this time, and I was loving it, making lots of potato salad. By November, the brown onions had cured, so I cleaned them up and stored them in the cupboard. I harvested the red onions as they took a bit longer than the brown onions to grow. I was harvesting endless cucumbers, which I was loving in my salad every night for dinner. I picked my first cabbage and was picking loads of lettuce and kale. They just kept growing. And the corn was starting to grow rapidly with the beginning of the heat that had arrived. December brings us to the end of the year and where we are right now. The tomatoes are producing all over the place and I'm enjoying these sweet millions. They're so delicious. The eggplants are getting large and almost ready to pick. The garlic was finally ready to be pulled. I got about 10 garlic and there should be enough to plant for next year. The red onions had cured, so I cleaned those up, and my rock melons were getting huge. The heat arrived early this year and the garden is just hanging on, but the pests have moved in, so it's almost time to stop until the heat of summer is over again. I just hope I can manage to get a few rock melons and a few more tomatoes. So 2024 was an incredible year for my 39 square meter backyard garden. Month by month I grew a variety of vegetables, adapted to the seasons, and enjoyed the satisfaction of harvesting my own food. I hope you had a productive year in your garden, and I hope you enjoyed this recap video of my year in the garden. Which of these vegetables are you planning to grow next year? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more gardening tips, seasonal guides, and backyard inspiration. And Happy New Year!